Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS news for Thursday, September 10. Government has committed to building 70,000 housing starts over the next 5 years. Of that number, 30% or 21,000 will be reserved for police officers, nurses, teachers, and other civil servants. Another 10,000 will be allocated to persons within the ages of 18 to 35 years at 100% financing. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says this is among several measures to ensure more Jamaicans have access to land, housing, and other critical infrastructure.
Each year, the NHD will invest a minimum of $1 billion in social housing to include construction and repairs for those who are not able to purchase a home. We have already started to improve the system of the issuance of titles, and we have targeted to issue over 30,000 land titles to Jamaicans who have legitimate claims to land that they have occupied and cultivated for generations.
The Prime Minister made the announcement on Monday during his inauguration ceremony at King's House. He also disclosed that a plan had been developed to bring approximately 100 million gallons of water per day into the system. This involves pumped hydro storage and desalination and will cover Clarendon, Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine and parts of St. Thomas.
This will solve once and for all our water shortage problems in our utility areas on the southern side of the island and increase the resilience of our country.
Meanwhile, the new Andrew Holness-led administration is targeting the creation of approximately 150,000 new jobs across various sectors.
We will diversify our economy to increase resilience, promote innovation, support youth entrepreneurs, and explore opportunities within the green and blue economies. We will support the development of coding, animation, film, logistics and fulfillment, among other sectors, to create 150,000 new jobs.
In addition, the Prime Minister says government will mobilize foreign and domestic investment to improve the delivery of public services and promote innovation while generating employment.
We will launch and complete public-private partnerships for water treatment and storage, sewage, garbage collection, and infrastructure development. We will list state-owned enterprises on the stock exchange, as we have been doing, giving Jamaicans the opportunity to own a piece of these assets. This will create wealth, real wealth in Jamaica, and help our economy recover stronger.
In the meantime, the Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ, has reported that all sectors of the goods-producing and services industries declined significantly over the April to June quarter of the year due to the impact of COVID-19. The preliminary figures were released at a media briefing on Wednesday. It shows an overall decline in real gross domestic product, GDP, of 18% for the quarter when compared with the same period last year. The hotels and restaurants industry was hit hard and fell by 87.5%. Director General of the PIOJ, Dr. Wayne Henry, says this was due to less visitor arrivals and fewer persons utilizing restaurant services.
Among the measures implemented to manage the spread of the COVID-19 was the closure of borders to passenger traffic for 2 of the 3 months during the quarter. This led to a significant fall-off in stopover arrivals by 98.9% to 7,188 visitors. Total visitor expenditure at US $16.2 million was 98.1% lower than that recorded in the corresponding period of 2019.
Dr. Henry also indicates that for air transport, departures fell by 97.3% and arrivals by 98%. He says Jamaica's performance is in line with many other countries who have faced similar negative outturns resulting from measures to curtail the spread of COVID-19.
An examination of the economic performance in some of Jamaica's trading partners revealed that the economies of the USA, Canada, and the United Kingdom recorded contractions of 9.6%, 13%, and 21.7% respectively during the review quarter compared with the similar quarter of 2019.
For Jamaica, the PIOJ is projecting that economic contraction will continue for the July to September quarter within the range of 8 to 10% as the country continues to manage the pandemic. Meanwhile, a number of business leaders say they remain optimistic that Jamaica can and will achieve higher levels of macroeconomic stability, fiscal consolidation, and far-reaching sustainable inclusive growth. Their optimism is based on Prime Minister Andrew Holness's announcement of several key undertakings to be pursued by his administration during his inauguration on Monday. President of the Jamaica Employers Federation, JIS, David Wan, says the Prime Minister's signaled change in management style is a positive move that will allow more to be accomplished. According to the JIS president, despite the impact of COVID-19 on Jamaica, the prospects for the country's recovery remain positive in light of government's ongoing efforts to maintain low interest rates that will translate into low lending rates for the productive sector. Meanwhile, President of the Small Business Association of Jamaica, Hugh Johnson, cites the Prime Minister's forthright stance on curbing corruption by public officials as key to the recovery efforts. Also critical, he says, is the $500 million grant earmarked for micro and small community-based businesses and the creation of approximately 150,000 additional jobs. Tourism interests have agreed to continuously review the established safety protocols in order to prevent a breakout of the novel coronavirus within the industry. Chairman of the Tourism Resilient Corridors, John Biles, says the COVID-19 compliant protocols will remain in place until the country and the industry are satisfied that the disease is at a low transmission rate. The protocols were established by the government and entail several measures, such as an attraction or resort must be periodically inspected by health officials in order to first open and to remain in operation.
There is a continual effort to monitor the improvements in the science and to improve what the protocols are, as well as to look at if there are any scientific improvements that can help with testing or the improvement of the testing and the cost of testing.
Mr. Biles was addressing a JIS think tank at the agency's regional office in St. James recently. More than 100,000 persons have vacationed on the island since the country reopened its borders to international travelers on June 15. And finally, a 12-year-old boy is among the two latest individuals to have succumbed to the novel coronavirus since the outbreak began in Jamaica. In its September 9 update, the Ministry of Health and Wellness said an 80-year-old female was also confirmed to have died from the disease. The total number of deaths now stand at 38, while 4 more deaths in COVID-19 positive individuals are under investigation. At the same time, the country has recorded 114 new confirmed COVID-19 cases, bringing the total cases on record for the island to 3,437. Recoveries increased by 27, with 1,019 persons having been released from care. As the country's infection and morbidity numbers continue to increase, the Health Ministry is urging Jamaicans to take every precaution to avoid COVID-19 infection. Specific infection prevention and control measures to practice include maintaining 6 feet physical distance from others, wearing a mask while out in public, frequently washing hands with soap and water, and strictly adhering to quarantine orders. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.